Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, definitely welcome. And my name is James, and you're watching Wonderful World. And with us today is my female eastern garter snake, Carol. And although this video is not so much about Carol as it is for children, I'm really excited because today is the first time ever that Carol has been my co-host. And as you can see, Carol is a very beautiful and healthy, probably a perfect example of what a big, healthy garter snake should look like. And if you follow the channel, then you know that Carol gave birth last spring to a litter of babies. And I kept 2 of those babies to take care of myself, 2 particularly because they were born with some pretty severe physical disabilities. And their names are Raven and Sparrow. Well, I'm sad to say that those physical disabilities finally caught up with Raven and she passed away. I think it might be easy for someone, and there might be someone out there right now that's thinking, dude, it's just a snake. But I think especially for someone who's never cared for a snake, they might not realize that you can get just as attached to a reptile as you can any other pet like a cat or dog. So losing Raven is particularly sad for me because I watched her being born. I took care of her from that very day on. And I tried so hard to help her survive. And as sad as I am about that, there is somewhat of a bright side, if not a bittersweet side to all of this, and that is Sparrow. As Raven started going downhill, Sparrow continued to grow stronger. She's growing larger, and I don't know if I could use the word thriving for her, but for now she is surviving. I've been trying to keep a positive attitude, but to be honest, I don't really know what to expect as far as what the future holds for Sparrow. You can see as Sparrow moves around in my hands that it's difficult for her to move like a normal snake. And as she's grown, it's become evident that it's not just kinks in her body, but how her body is developing too. It seems like from about the middle of her body to her tail, everything changes. She's not completely paralyzed, but that lower half of her body is very weak. And from the middle of her body to her tail, her scales seem to slowly start disappearing to where the last part of her body just feels like skin with no scales. So how she moves relies a lot on her using her upper body to basically drag her lower body behind her. And as she does that, her body sometimes twists and turns around like a corkscrew. You can see that I have to support her entire body when I hold her because the lower half of her body would just hang limp if I don't. She can't really climb at all, so I haven't bothered to put any limbs to climb on in her enclosure. But I have given her some plants and several pieces of bark to explore and hide under. You can see her here working on shedding her skin, and this has been one of the most difficult things for her. This last time, she got it down to the middle part of her body pretty easily, but that second half of her body took another day and a half for her to work out. But she did work it out. It's a little bit hard to watch her struggle like she does. Ordinarily, a juvenile garter snake like Sparrow would be a fast and somewhat spastic snake. And Sparrow isn't really that. But I did catch her here moving faster than I've seen before. And this does give me a little bit of hope. She does eat well, and so far she's still eating chopped up earthworms and tilapia fish. I'm going to wait for her to grow a little more before I try switching her to pinky mice. I've spent so much time caring for Sparrow, and I've also spent a lot of time worrying about her. And knowing that these disabilities might cut her life short, I've grown to have such a strong affection for this little snake. Sparrow does have problems, but so far she is surviving. And I'm sure there will be plenty updates on her in the future. And it was only a couple months ago that Daryl and Carol were going at it hot and heavy, so I'm sure there will be more babies in the future, whether I like it or not. But Daryl and Carol have been tank mates for almost 4 years now, and they're really bonded together, so I really don't want to separate them. And so there will probably be babies at some point. And I'm sure when that happens, you'll see a video about it. So that is Carol and her daughter Sparrow. And I hope you enjoyed catching up with them. And I appreciate you watching. And I'll see you in the next video.